The XC Gundam, or the Kasei Gundam, depending on if you want to say it like you're Japanese. Even though you're not, and the few classes you've taken to learn Japanese haven't been fruitful for you. Surimasen. This kid is from the Hathaway's Flash movie, which, in all honesty, wasn't bad. If I knew people wanted to review, I would have reviewed it like a week or two before it came to the States. Big whoopsie on my part, I figured nobody cared what I thought. The kit itself is standard fare HG, in all honesty. You know what you're getting with an HG kit, especially if you're into Gunpla. There isn't much I can say about it. There's a little bit of articulation. It does just enough that you'd expect from an HG kit to coincide with a major movie release. Why this wasn't an RG is beyond me, because I feel if there are any Gundams that were worthy of getting an RG treatment that were too big for the 1/100 scale master grade, it would be the Penelope and the Kasei Gundam. Overall, the build is pretty straightforward, nothing too special, nothing too amazing. I find the plastic on this kit, though, to be weak, almost unacceptable at points. The thumb in the hand area, dude, like, it broke. One of them broke. The other one cracked. And I wasn't mishandling it, obviously, because I've worked with enough of these. You can tell by my work I'm not someone that's heavy-handed. It just made no sense to me logically that it would happen. I'm still clueless, so I had to glue the thumbs in place. Oh, God. And if that wasn't enough, another con is like the ankle joints. If you paint this model kit, I would avoid painting the ankle joints altogether because they're too tight in the foot area. The ball joint will become stuck in the friction between the paint and the joints trying to take it off if you just don't like pull it in one quick swoop. Like I tried to twist it off like I do any other master grade, just a little twist, slowly work my way through. But by the time I realized that it wasn't actually coming off and I was just twisting the plastic because it was so weak, it was already too late. This then led to me literally having an ankle that was now held on by a prayer. I tried to re-glue it with, normal plastic glue, but this didn't really alleviate the issue. I was reduced to going in my other kit. Thank God Cody sent me an extra XC versus Penelope Gundam kit by mistake, because if he didn't, I would have had to buy another XC Gundam anyway. And unfortunately, I was probably going to do a giveaway with that or something. Now I can't because I had to cannibalize parts from that kit to make this. This has to be the only Gundam model kit I've worked with in years that had such inferior plastic, in my opinion. I'm sure other people who just snap build this won't run into those issues. And maybe people who paint them won't run into the issue where it's kind of like, uh-oh, I missed a spot, I have to do something again, or whatever the case may be. Oh, crap. I'm pretty sure I already said posability is pretty standard fare. It's not too amazing due to all the outer armor. The other bit of flair is the funnel missiles, I believe they're called. I don't know what to say about them, in all honesty. I believe it was No Star FX who said they look like piss streams. So it left me with two choices, honestly. You can either light these up with LEDs, which would take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of energy. And since this is something I just want to build and then put in a diorama, I figured it'd be a waste of time and effort to try and adequately light up these rockets. So the next best thing I could think of was painting them in all fluorescent colors and giving the illusion of some sort of light passing through. The rocket area is very white hot, and then it tapers off into an orange and a light yellow and so on. I don't know, there isn't much you can do with these sort of effects to make them seem realistic. I mean, you could go the classic cotton ball around each effect and then once again work an LED light through it. When you're working on a big sort of idea for a diorama, if it's not something that's going to be in a competition and you're stretched for time, such as in the case of me, you have to try and time manage everything you put effort into. Too much time in one area makes the entire process then last anywhere from days to weeks or months longer. And since this channel doesn't get that great of views, I'm not going to kill myself here. For the paint job, I went for the Katoki paint scheme, where he added blue in the chest, which really broke up all the white. I think that was a good idea because this kit just bone white to me feels kind of bland. Call me crazy. There is one transfer. Oh, my voice is really. There is one transformation in this kit, or maybe two if you count pointing the toes down. And it's a lot of parts formation, to be honest. The flight mode doesn't make much sense to me, as I don't know how in God's green earth this would ever be practical in real life, but granted, it's a giant mecha anime. Parts formation, sort of par for the course with an HG kit. You want transformation, that's where the MGs go. But I gotta give it to Bandai. You only have to deal with parts formation on the cheaper HG kits. I've seen a lot of Transformers figures that cost $300 or $400, and you still had parts formation and kibble. So there's that. Overall, if you're into Hathaway's Flash, you like the XE or Cassie Gundam, whichever you prefer, then this is kind of the only game in town right now. I mean, the only other option would be a Mechanicore kit, and frankly, they're not easy to come by. I haven't seen a Mechanicore Cassie in years. I wouldn't mind owning one and building it up because I really like the way it looked. But frankly, this is the only game in town for you. So if you want an XC, this is it. If you want something overly posable, I don't feel this is that. But then again, it's an HG kit. You can't expect too much posability. Would I recommend this? Not to anyone that isn't really into either everything Gundam or isn't into Hathaway's Flash. I would say that this is a pass kit. Unless you want to collect, Gunpla that will become rare in the future, then I'm pretty sure Bandai won't be reprinting the XE versus Penelope again, if at all. So if you want one, I would highly suggest getting it from New Type HQ. They still have them. And once they're gone, they're going to go up in price. So if you want to scalp it, now's the time.